place. You gotta comb it back. This one. Yeah, there you go.
Oh, look at this hardware, man. FDA, ABO. Got the Latin American camera. Showing it for the camera. Now
They got some trainers say, and some fighters say, "Well, I don't watch videos of the guy fighting. I let the coach watch it." This, hey, man.
Guys, one thing we know for sure about Wilder, he hit you clean. Right. And this woman whooped the whole world twice. The whole world.
Good morning. What's going on? Facebook, YouTube, Instagram. It's your boy Fresh, along with Coach Derek. It's another episode of Soapboxing Podcast, man, and we are super excited. We got all kinds of guests going this morning. We got Juan from the ABO. We got Lt.Hvy Gaitan, the light heavyweight ABO champion, along with his father/trainer, coach. So we got a lot to talk about this morning, man. How y'all doing this morning?
I'm doing great, thank you.
Good.
D, how you feeling, man? First, man, let me go ahead and congratulate y'all. Welcome back. How was your trip out to Vegas, man? You guys do anything interesting while you were out there?
Yeah, look at TV. You can't really do nothing in that bubble, man.
Along with three other 3 million. What was the total number of viewers of that show?
ESPN came out and said they got 3 million views, but along with ESPN Plus and all the other, like, I think Fight.com, the Fight.com app in England. Anyway, 4 million people, bro. 4 million.
4 million people. Man, that's a lot of fucking people.
Now, I don't know how many was tuned in for the whole show or whatever, but that's how many people is reported watch the fights.
Man,
That's a lot of people, man. Matter of fact, that's the most I ever heard of, man. Because I think Canelo Floyd, what was they, like 2.5, 3 million?
Somewhere around there.
But it was purchases.
Right.
So I'm sure they it was free, so I'm sure that's why people tuned in. But yeah, man, a lot of eyes are on there. We got a lot of messages and texts and mentions on Twitter and all that type of stuff.
Yeah, it was a great show, man. Congratulations to Q, Quick Draw Randall on his victory, 7-0 in Vegas. Man, put on a clinic, looked absolutely damn near flawless. I'm sure you guys talked about, what he needs to work on for the next fight, man. But from as far as the spectators and people watching, I know the world was impressed with his performance, and there was definitely a lot of buzz. Keeping Houston on the map. So congratulations on that, guys. But let's jump into it, man. Listo, what's going on? You got a fight coming up?
Yes, sir. We'll be fighting here in Irving on November 20th for the ABO cruiserweight title. So I mean, we've been hitting the gym hard. We've been getting a lot of sparring rounds in. I mean, it's been going great, and I feel great throughout my camp. We've had some fights that we were originally training for, and they kind of fell through. So we just continued the camp going. So I mean, I feel strong. I mean, I'm probably like on week 14 of a training camp, but I feel great. And I feel healthy. I feel strong, and I'm ready to go.
Good deal.
How long you been off before what was your previous fight?
My previous fight was back in September with the original light heavyweight title for the ABO. I gone with Lt.Hvy Obregon, but then we were going to fight again in February, and I had some problems with my back, and we had to get that under control. And luckily, I had one of my chiropractor, and they really took care of it.
So you had some time off, man. How have you been dealing with the whole corona virus and the pandemic, and how's that affected your training and your mindset?
I mean, it's actually, I feel like it's helped me. I mean, you ain't got much to do outside of the gym, so I mean, it just keeps you even more focused into the gym. That's what you got to do, and I mean, we just take advantage of it. You know, being able to just stay in the gym, stay trained, stay conditioned, stay strong and healthy, and that's pretty much it. You know, we actually use this time to be able to make some adjustments to our weight cutting, our strength and conditioning training, and just all around everything that we need to focus on. So that's why we're just trying to do things, and I feel good using them, and they're working out so far.
Coach G, what you know about that light heavyweight division?
It's stacked, man. Everything in boxing is stacked, man. Boxing's not for the faint of heart right now, man. I was looking at rankings yesterday, and I like to say light heavyweight, junior middleweight, and welterweight is the deepest divisions. But then I started looking at junior welter or super lightweight, whatever you want to call it. Man, the top 10 is all named guys, bro. Boxing is deep as shit, bro. Light heavy, man, it's real live monsters at light heavy too, man. I know Blisto's looking at. That better be that kid that what's the other Russian guy? I know his name, B-Ball.
B-Ball.
You got Joe, you got Alfonso, you got, man, look, you got to be correct, man. You better get your chiropractor to do a few adjustments, man. You don't want to come in there nothing but 100%, man.
Zurdo Ramirez just moved up to light heavyweight, so he's undefeated, in the middleweight. So.
Man,
and just to think, a couple years ago, maybe 2 years ago, when people were talking about how boxing was dead, man, they couldn't have been more wrong than two left feet.
Yeah.
They've been saying boxing was dead since I was 8 years old, man. Boxing ain't going nowhere, bro. You know what it is? It's too sports specific, man. Like people got afraid when that started coming out, right? And like as far as and I wasn't never nervous. I said, man, that's two different things, man. We in boxing, we trying to be the best in the world at one thing.
Oh, definitely, yeah. Best in the world. There's no seasons for this. This is all year round. You ain't taking no breaks.
I think that MMA world, man, the boys, you might be a karate kicker or a wrestler or whatever, and everybody gets their turn. At every 30 minutes, they tell me somebody is the greatest. What 30 minutes ago, Conor McGregor was the greatest motherfucker on TV, and then. And then one wrapped that choke on him, and now he's the best thing smoking. Hey, in boxing, man, you got two gloves, man. It ain't going nowhere, bro.
What let's talk about how you got into boxing, man. When you put on your first pair of gloves?
Man, I was probably 5 years old out of my dad's garage.
And how'd that happen? Is there any boxing history behind in the family?
Yeah, that's how it all started. It came down from my grandpa, my dad, my uncle, me. But I got married young, so I had to work, and so I had a little boxing bag in the garage, a heavy bag. And that's how he started. I'd get out to work, come in, we did it a little bit. And finally, he told me he wanted to fight somebody. So I took him to the gym a few blocks away, and he got his ass whooped. So he got his ass whooped. We left the gym. We didn't hear nothing about boxing for like 2 weeks. He didn't want to get the heavy bag no more. And then out of the blue, he told me, "Dad, I want to go kick that kid's ass." That's how it all started. I trained him. We went back. He kicked that little kid's ass, and then the coach of that gym was kind of mad and told me, "Hey, I got somebody else for him. Took him back in a week." Took him back in a week, and he didn't tell us the kid was a southpaw. So then he got his butt whooped again. He's like, "Hey, that kid fights weird." I said, "No, he don't fight weird. He's a southpaw." So when I trained him for a week as a south to fight a southpaw, we went back and he had that kid crying in the second round. The kid didn't want to fight him no more, and then he got into boxing, amateurs, and he went 26-0 before he lost his first fight.
Oh wow!
And that was at the Junior Olympics.
Oh wow!
Nice. You had somebody coachable on your hands, huh?
Yeah, that's a competitive nature, I guess, took over at a really young age. So you stuck with it. I started becoming addicted to winning trophies, winning medals, being ranked, and I enjoyed that feeling. It's a sport that you don't have the opportunity to be able to blame it on somebody else for not doing their part. It's all on you. You're in that ring by yourself. You see what you train to do in the gym, and you can't do it. You're not coming out victorious. But fortunately for us, my dad's always been on my side, my mom's always been on my side, my brother. It's a whole family involved in it. And that's really helped us. We used to take school breaks. When we used to have spring breaks at school or winter breaks and all that. We used to go travel to tournaments. National tournaments. We didn't have the luxury of staying home and staying up late playing video games. So we had to be in the gym and keep trying to see reach our goals.
We wasted vacations, family vacations. Instead of going out on vacations, it was I had my boys, my other son Chuco and Listo, and it was just us, my wife and my other son, and we traveled across the United States, on our vacations.
That was the vacation, going around kicking ass all over the country, huh?
Getting gold medals and silver medals. I mean, we traveled from the East Coast to the West Coast, all the way up to the North, South. We were everywhere, man. That's how we would save up money just to make it to these tournaments, so they can get so people can acknowledge us and see what we were doing, because they used to think we were crazy because we were training out of the garage.
Yeah.
And then I had 2 gold medalists, a silver medalist, and 2 bronze medalists out of a garage.
Wow.
We only had 1 gold medalist. So
Whatever works, man.
It felt good, it felt good. It felt real good. He was sparring professional boxers at the age of 13, 14 years old, We had an incident with one boxer. I'm not going to say his name, but he's a professional boxer. He has 1 loss. He called us for sparring, and he was like 14, 15 years old. We went to his gym. He's like, Dad, I want to get my glove signed by him. I want to take pictures, blah, blah, blah. And I was like, yeah, we'll do it after we spar. Well, he rocked him in the 3rd round. And then that dude started cussing him out, like, come on, motherfucker, let's do this, blah, 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 And then I was like, hey, man, hold up. You need to chill the hell up. He's only 14 years old, man. You're already pro. And he's like, nah, fuck that. Let him come off. I was like, man. The end of the, after sparring, he came and he told us, hey, man, I had to do that because you robbed me. I was like, well, that's not the way to do it. I said, man, he's a kid. And he's like, you know what? Should I get my gloves out of man? Fuck him. Don't get me.
So this guy's still fighting?
Yeah.
Yes, he is still fighting. He's still active.
What weight class?
147.
Oh, shit. Okay. I see what
I
you're
was
listening to.
like, maybe like 14, 15 years old at the time. I was a kid. I was getting in there. Like, man, I get to fight, some real high level fighters.
He lost to one of Garcia's guys not too long ago.
Okay.
Title.
I didn't hear what he said.
He lost to one of Garcia's guys. He lost the title at 147. Right? 147 or 140? 147. Who was it? Who was it? We ain't got to say no names. You know who we're talking about?
Yeah.
He lost to Ramirez. I was just going to say, he lost to Ramirez.
Say, who lost to Ramirez?
I think
go ahead. Nah. I'll find out later. Man, well, that's awesome, man. Traveling around the country. It's real easy to get addicted to the to winning and feeling that getting that recognition and so When did you guys decide to go pro?
And we decided that when I was about 17 years old, and the 2016 Olympics were right around the corner. What happened was, I mean, I was fighting, hard every day in the gym. Every sparring we could get, we take advantage of it and go get some rounds in. But I was about 17 when the Olympics were going to happen for 2016, and according to the rules, I wasn't allowed to be on the USA team because of age. I wasn't 18 at the time or whatever it was. And that was a bit frustrating because of course we'd have to wait 4 years in order to be able to compete in the next Olympics. Maybe 2020 by that time I was already I'm 22 right now, so I was like it's too late to start a professional boxing career, especially because this sport is it's a short-term sport. It's not a sport where we can retire at 65 years old. So we don't have that luxury. So we talked it over. Me and my dad. We were getting calls from even the Council of Mexico's Olympics.
Yeah, the Mexican Council, they called me and they said if we wanted to be on their on the
National team.
Yeah.
Be able to compete in the 2016 Olympics.
Yeah, because they would allow Mexico would allow him to fight for the Mexican Olympic team, and we talked it over. They were going to give him a citizenship. They even asked us, what state. I said, I wanted to go down where my parents are from.
Yeah.
To that, we got an opportunity. We started getting calls from other promoters. I was like, man, let's think about it. And then there was a big tournament here in Dallas, Dallas, and I told him, you know what? Go ahead and we'll fight in this tournament. If you win that, if you give me that belt, I'll turn you pro. And he went in there. He beat a good prospect from Houston. His name is Darius Bogum. He's on the national team right now, I think. And we beat him, here in Dallas. Got the belt. I think at that year. 5 months later, I turned pro here, and we sold out, the show. It made a co-main event for his debut. And the only reason they didn't do it, they didn't make a main event was because it was a title fight. They made him main event, and after that, he was main event. And there was people hating because there's another guy here in Dallas that had a title, and it was a title fight. And he got kind of upset because the card, they made him main event, and they made him co-main event. And he was like, why? If I'm 10 rounds, he's only 4 rounds. The second fight, you're making him. I'm like, well, the numbers are talking for themselves. I said, we got this place sold out, And that's how we started getting recognition here in Dallas with the other promotion companies. We were selling out the shows. That's the reason Garcia picked us up, because he saw that, he saw what we did on his first fight on their card. He said he had never seen ticket sales like that from a local boxer.
So Juan, how did your attention come to these guys? What did you see in them, and how did you approach them?
No, they actually approached us.
Yeah. No, we're always looking for good talent, and when we saw them and we heard about them, everything was evaluated, and we liked what we saw. And one of the things that we liked about Listo is that he's a humble guy. He's very humble. His father, I just like the culture. And I just like the vibe. Make no mistake about it, his last title fight was a draw, but it could have gone either way. It was a great fight, and Listo was gracious enough to accept that and move on. Didn't dwell on it, and that's what we like in our champions. We like that. Okay, they accept it, they move on, and they focus on the next fight.
Listo, are you sure you didn't have are you sure you didn't have surgery, shoulder surgery before the fight?
What's that?
Yeah,
you know how Lomo Checo came out saying he had. I'm just making sure you didn't have any surgeries before the fight.
Straight up, man. I'm straight up. Boxing, and I've said it before. No such thing as as a fighter coming in 100%. There's excuses. It's just about how you're able to fight through whatever you're going through, whether it be an injury, whether it be whatever it is. You gotta fight through whatever it is stacked against you. And we knew who we were going against. I was only 5-0 at the time when I got in there in September with Nayo, and I think he came in 13-2. So he tripled the fight experience as a professional, against me, with Stack. And, it's a pretty good threat. So we understood what our competition was. Just as when we went pro, a lot of people were thinking that we were dumb to take the fight that we did because we had about 7 opponents fall through, and I was just wanting to make my debut. Finally the opponent that said that he wanted to take the fight against me on his debut. On my debut was guy out of I don't remember where, but it was
Black Rhino from Fort Worth.
Yeah, he was 1-0. He was coming in already, 1-0 with 1 knockout. So he was coming in pretty hot, and he actually fought out of in San Antonio his debut, and he fought against a guy that I guess he was supposed to lose against. He was the underdog coming in, and he ended up knocking this guy out, I think, second round. So we're like, okay, so this is going to be a very strong guy coming in at us. So we got to be very cautious. We got to be real technical and box our fight. But man, as you see my debut, all that went out the window, and we went to a straight up slugfest, throwing 200 punches maybe per round, man. It was just insane.
And then the crowd wouldn't help. The crowd didn't help. We couldn't tell them nothing. We couldn't hear what we were telling them. Me and my helps me train Diesel, Hector Vasquez. We're like, these people need to shut up. We can't hear what we were telling them in the corner. They were so loud. And then, at the end, it was so good. It was a war. He experienced everything in his first fight. He got cut the first 30 seconds from a headbutt under his eye. He didn't panic. The doctor said the cut was so big, he could make it a no contest. He said no, he wanted to fight. He got rocked, and he knew how to control that. He rocked the guy 2 times and rocked him once. And we came out with the victory. But, we know that it was his pro debut. He was excited, and it was a war. But after that, people saw that we were the real deal.
Yeah, man. But basically going back to what you're saying is just that. We know the friends we're going up against, so they know if we draw, lose, whatever it is. We're there to fight the best. And what happens. But we're gonna make sure that. We're going in there with the intention of coming out with that victory.
And that's let me intervene there for a second. I that's what I like about that they're going to be fighting good opponents because they realize that in order to get to where, say, for example, Alfonso is, you got to fight that talent, right? Manny, you're a fighter. Coach, you're a fighter, and you guys understand all that. I don't know if you've seen both of these, Manny or Derek, get in the ring. It's pretty good. But at the end of the day, that's what I like about Elisto. He's willing to take that challenge and keep moving up or moving down to get his name out there, and that's what we like about him.
I wish I was had a little more cushion, but hell, in these first 7 fights, I think 4 or 5 of them was undefeated, including this guy we just fought, 4-0, 4 knockouts. But you got to know what you're working with and try to gauge who you're fighting best you can. So I applaud anybody willing to get in there with guys undefeated. And in boxing, even if a guy, let's say we look at him, he's 5, 6-0. But he's dumpster juice. He still don't know how to lose yet. So you got to convince him how to lose, So it's always dangerous getting in there with them guys with who hasn't been beat yet. So I applaud any young fighter, man, that gets in there takes some tough fights, man. Cause look, Hooker wouldn't fight Regis. That's what y'all was talking about, I think.
Oh.
That you gotta go ahead and take care of business, man. And if a fighter's, willing to go stake his claim like that, man, that should be applauded, bro. Absolutely.
Like over gone, he was I think he had 13 wins, 2 losses, and like when we took the fight against him, and he almost dropped him, but I think he switched up something we shouldn't have in training, and I regret that. I think it was our fault. We could have kept doing what we were doing, and it was working. You know what? Switch it up. We could have switched it up later or thought about it a little bit more, but it was a draw. We learned from it. I asked them for the rematch right there as soon as we shook hands in the middle of the ring, and they said no. They clearly told me no. I said, hey, we want the rematch, title belt. Come on, let's do it. They said no. And I was like, I even offered him a little bit more money in his pocket, and he still said no.
But that let you know who they think won.
Yeah, so,
we talked about this fight this past weekend, and one of the side stories or sub stories of the fight was the father son duel. You both opponents had their fathers in their corners. Lisa, why don't you tell me what it's like having your father as your, not only your father, but as your coach, and how that relationship has been over the years?
Well, I mean, definitely. I mean, it's not an easy task. It's definitely not for my here. But from a young age, it's just the way I was raised. Other kids, just like my dad had said before, they had the luxury of leaving the gym and forgetting about the coach. They just hang out with the dad, whatever. But me, my coach was with me, my dad was with me. It's just the way it is. It goes hand in hand. And he was always there. I mean, he was always, making sure that whatever I'm doing is for the better of my future. You know what I mean? Like whether it's what I'm eating, whether I'm staying out late, whatever it is, I just he's making sure he's watching that after me. And I as a kid, I really resented that. I didn't like it. I was like, man, I want some more freedom. I want to be able to go out, do this, do this. At the same time, my friends weren't, the ones winning national titles. They weren't the ones being on local newspapers. They weren't the ones being on TV or radio stations and all that. As that came to fruition, I started realizing, like, man, you know what? Like, now I really am proud that my dad was on my ass all the time. He pushed me, that he made sure that I was doing the right thing. Everything that he was looking out after, now benefiting me for my future. All these national tournaments and all that has helped me gain some kind of attention to be able to be recognized and get signed by a big company like Garcia Promotions, who now 5-time world champion. It's just crazy. We were kids watching his fight on pay-per-view and having parties around it. And now I'm signed to
his promotion company.
It's great. It's right after 3 fights. When we've seen guys go 10, 15 fights without getting signed. Nobody really paying attention. Nobody knows who they are yet. I'm only 6 fights in, and I feel like I have a pretty good following. I have people that really want to come out and support us. They know who we are. They want to be around us. I like that. I appreciate all the people that come out and support all the time. That have followed me even through my amateur career when they couldn't come with us. To national tournaments. Now they can be here watching us fight live. In my hometown. I still have yet to even fight as a professional outside of the state of Texas. So that's the luxury of it in itself. Of having that recognition here in the area.
And Dad, how did you see those moments when he would get frustrated? And what would you think? Did you just keep the goal at hand, or would you ease off? How was that? How was it for you trying to balance that father coach role?
Well, the way I told him, I was hard. man. I told him straight up. I told Listo, I told my boy Chuco, my other son Chuco. I said, you know what? You're 18, you graduate, and you can, work on your own and buy your own things. I said, then you can stop boxing. Till then,
You
you
boxing.
can. So that's exactly what I told them. And now, I mean, now you see what he's saying. I had a good team. I had a good amateur team. I trained other boxers too, not just them. And I was getting recognition around here where a lot of these kids weren't getting fights in tournaments because they knew where they were coming from. So that felt good. That felt good. But these kids, their parents just said it was too much for them. They quit boxing because it was too hard, because it was too cold, because it was too hot. We trained out of a garage. Well, now these kids, they're out there partying. Some are incarcerated. Some are doing drugs, and I tell them, that's where I really got you out of. But now I surpassed my accomplishment, my goal. I didn't think he was gonna be signing his third fight. But every time I talked, every time I said something, it landed. So when Robert Garcia came to Dallas, he saw them spar, and he fell in love with them. He said they were good. And next thing you know, I like, man, maybe I'll get a phone call from Robert Garcia. Well, no, I'm just going to. Yeah. Everything was falling in place as I talked, and it was like, I used to say, one day it's gonna be Alacranes Promotions, I used to say that, I used to say I'm gonna be a boxing manager. I used to tell him I'm gonna be a boxing manager, and it came through. I'm his manager,
Nice.
I used to say, I'm gonna be the one putting the music in the fights. Well, when he came on his first debut, he wanted a certain song. I said, no, that ain't gonna work. I said, just we're gonna play this song. Just believe me. And then the kid, before his fight, came out to Corrido, and the crowd went high. And then I thought to myself, I was like, damn, did I fuck up? Did I fuck up? But then I like, nah, we're going to stick to it. And he even looked at me when the crowd went crazy. Like, I hope you know what you're doing, But then as soon as he came out, you heard the crowd, the beat to the mariachis, and then you heard the song, and I mean, everybody, even the white people, were like, "Viva, viva!" So I was like, "Damn, that did good, I felt good." And that's what caught the promotion's attention. The first question he asked me was, "What song did Lisa come out to?" So it was like, "Hey, I picked his outfit. I told him, hey, we're gonna come out with
The sombrero.
Sombrero, we're gonna come out with So it's like, I'm even his stylist.
Hey, when I went see Canelo fight Trump at the Alamo Dome, right? Been in boxing all my life, but I've been in Texas boxing for about 15 years, I guess. And I'm a big Canelo fan, but my buddy was in Trout's corner, so I was conflicted. But when all the Mexicans stood up and did the salute, on the heart,
yeah,
I stood up. I'm Canelo to the end, bro. Hey, it just gets in you. It just gets in you, man. And I don't speak Spanish, don't understand the music. But as soon as it's on, it's about to go down.
It's the Aztec warrior that gets awoken in you.
If I could do that holler like they do.
You get enough tequila in you, you'll get it out of you.
You'll resurrect it fast.
Hell yeah, man. You get to feeling all that Mexican pride, bro.
Yeah. It's definitely a lot of energy, man. So it's amazing, man. You made him stay in boxing to keep him out of trouble, and now he's created an opportunity and a platform for himself to open up more doors, man. Which is amazing. Which is why we do what we do, as far as gyms being open. We want to keep the boxing gyms open for the community, for these kids, to give them an outlet, to give them an avenue where they can, come release that energy that sometimes otherwise would be out in the streets fighting, doing dumb shit, getting involved with the wrong crowd. And so it's great when we hear these success stories where, you know, we wanted to keep our kid out of trouble. We wanted to keep them somewhere where they're going to be disciplined and focused, and they're able to turn it into something so much more. So that in itself is already a victory. So anything that happens from this point on, well, shit, that's just icing on the cake, you know?
Yeah, and you know, it's funny you say that, Manny, because Mr. Gaitan, Rafael, helped Shea Metcalf, so we can get that fight going. And as you know, now she's ranked #1 in the nation.
Yeah.
She's been a guest on the show.
Yeah, she's been doing great, and that was because Mr. Gaitan was able to identify that opportunity and gave us that opportunity, and we're humbled by it. But that just goes to show you that, you know, with your platform and the opportunities that we offer, it's up to you where you want to go, you know?
Absolutely.
Yeah,
I didn't know y'all was out.
I
Y'all
called
was out
the
of Dallas,
sponsors on his card, you know, and I gave him the opportunity. I told him, you know, get on the card. After that, you're gonna open your own door. I don't need anything from it, you know. I helped like the kid that's singing the national anthem and sang the Lisa song. He got signed by a record label now.
Oh wow!
Right.
Some of the ring card girls, you know, they're on music videos, you know. It's like, hey, you do what you want, you know, and I'll open the door for you. It's how you know how far you're gonna walk down that hall, you know. We had the DJ, you know, play Listo's song, and on one of the fights, and he messed it up, you know. He messed up the main event, you know, song.
Oh shit!
You know, now he keeps calling me, hey, give me another opportunity. I'm like, no, man. And, you know, yeah, I'm a little mad, motherfucker. You messed up his song, you know. And, you know, you got a free beer. You were able to DJ, but you messed up his song, you know, on the main event. I'm like, nah, man.
He had one job. One job.
And he messed it up. It was how he was doing first place. But he played another song, you know. Whole different song. It was romantic. He came out to a romantic song. They're like, how the hell did you mess that up, man? Even the kid was like, what the hell am I supposed to sing? You know?
We got I think we got someone about to join us. Eddie, who wants to introduce Eddie? Juan? Eddie? Okay. I'm about to pop him on. Here we go.
Go on.
Can you hear us, Eddie?
I can hear y'all.
What? How did you?
Hey, he has another of my future prospects. It's a girl, and she's a real deal. Not just because she's my niece, but she's a real deal.
Oh, okay. Oh, so who's Eddie? Introduce yourself.
Yeah, Eddie.
What's up? I'm Eddie Gaitan. I'm Rafael's brother.
Oh, okay.
I don't know.
I just stay behind the scenes, you know.
Nice.
You behind the scenes, you got the muscle with you though. You got the protection with you.
Man, well, we appreciate you stopping by. You want to say anything to your brother and your family?
I just for them to keep the hard work, you know.
That's what's up, man. Hey, Princess, we're going to have you on the show in about, how old is she? She about 2 or 3? With 2?
She just turned 4.
Oh, 4. Okay, well, happy birthday, sweetie. Well, we can't wait to have you on the show in about 10 years.
Already.
Already. Bye. There we go.
Listo, how tall are you, brother?
What's that?
How tall are you?
About 6'1".
Oh
Yeah.
shit. Yeah.
Try to use
Plenty big enough.
try to use all that reach I can.
I'm about 5 foot.
Nah. How tall are you, Dad?
Where the height came from? Mama and them or what?
Nah, I'm not 5 foot.
Oh, okay. Now them boys, man, them light hitters, man, they 6 footers, man. You know,
Yeah.
6 foot or better, man. So he plenty big enough, man.
Definitely, man. I mean, and usually my sparring, I prefer going up against, anybody taller than me. Is usually my opponent. I usually end up sparring heavyweight. It don't matter to me. I've always been a big kid. Ever since. I mean, and believe it or not, at 10 years old, my dad threw me in there with a 21-year-old. By 13, I was sparring pros. By 15, I just never really wanted to spar me no more. So now I have to go after the grown men, and it's cool to me. So it's something that I got used to, fighting taller opponents, stronger opponents, heavier opponents. It just didn't matter, we're going after the best, but, like as I said, it was me being a kid just wanting to do my sport, but who would ever believe that, some 13-year-old kid is, beating up on grown men,
Listen,
that,
I got a bunch of 13-year-old kids in my gym that's beating me up, all right, so.
Hey, you ever make it this way to spar? Listo?
What's that?
You ever make it to Houston to spar or what?
I've gone over, we've gone over like the Woodlands as far with Tigre. We've had the opportunity to get in the ring with him and share some of his, he shared some of his knowledge with us.
That was my question. That's what I was leading to. Have you and Alfonso been in the ring together?
Yeah, man. I mean, he's a great, humble guy, great hospitality. I remember the first time we got to the gym, man. I mean, he welcomed us with open arms, and I mean that was something that was greatly appreciated. Especially from the status that he holds right now. He's highly ranked by the WO. He's top 10 right now. I honestly respect that. I just thought we were just gonna get in there, do our work, get out. But he welcomed us in. Hey man, you guys need to warm up. You guys need to use the gym for anything. Feel free to do so. And it was just I just felt really welcome. And not only before the sparring, but even after the sparring, he told me, hey man, I really like the way you're doing this. He even gave props to my dad for coaching me a certain way on certain things, and he also, kind of gave me tips on what to do, against a certain, even gave me tips on how to fight him, because he knows that whatever knowledge he's going to give me and I use against him, in the ring, it's going to better him to be able to come with an opponent that's going to use it on him in the future. You understand? It was just great to get in there with somebody like that, that type of respect for you, and you're able to respect that highly.
And there's not too many boxers that are willing to do that. There's too much hate. They don't want you to shine. They want to keep you low key. That's that's the way I look at it. And when I heard that from him, it was like, wow, this is the first guy that's telling us how to do certain things, what is working, keep working on it, just giving me more arsenal, but other boxers around here, they're not going to do that. They're not going to give you the opportunity. They're not going to, like you guys are giving us the opportunity to be on this podcast, and talking about us. There's other boxing gyms here that will never do that. They're not going to let you shine more than they are, So when he talked to us about that, showed us what's working, what should we do, what should we work on, tips on how to work on the inside. It's like, man, I admire him. I was like, man, this dude's the real deal. If I can help him in any way, I will. I share everything he posts, just because, like I said, the love he showed us and the way he talked to us. I mean, he even has time to like some of my posts. It's like I feel good. I'm like, oh shit, he liked my post. It's like, so it feels good, man. I love working with him.
Not only that, but one of the best things that I heard from Peter is he comes into the gym. He told us, this after the sparring, he goes, when he comes into the gym, his ego stays at the door, and he leaves it there, and he's in there to work, learn, and continue to grow. And over here, man, I mean, not just over here, but just pretty much anywhere. As far as young boxers coming in, a lot of people want to take on easy competition because they want to continue to grow their confidence. They want to continue to boost their egos, but that's not the way you become great. That's not the way that you're going to be able to get into the ring with another big opportunity opponent, and it's going to show that you weren't willing to take those challenges, prior to getting into that ring.
It's Alfonso, bro, is one of the greater guys I know from. I mean, we got a ton of great guys in Houston, man. But he's one of the guys that he wears his heart on his sleeve. He tries to help everybody and not afraid to help everybody. See, those guys who you talking about, who want to build confidence or whatever, what's going to happen is they're going to run into a wall, and then they ain't going to know what to do. Whereas guys who, and don't get me wrong, I mean, if you don't like a guy, sure, you don't tell him nothing because, he's a jerk. But for the most part, in boxing, there's good guys in boxing, bro, and they try to help. This sport, man, there is no team, like you said. It's you and your dad, and you might have a straight guy or something, but it's better to be. It's better to be. Austin Williams fought yesterday on the zone. As soon as he finished fighting, I shot him a text message about what I thought and stuff, and he shot it back saying, "Man, I appreciate it, coach. Thanks for the this, that, and the third." I want everybody to win, man. I want everybody to win. Listen, if we end up having a fight, all right, we're gonna put our wares on the table and see who's better. But it doesn't help you to not help others, man. That's ridiculous, man. So when guys like that, they it's almost like they're trying to block people from being successful, man. And as a believing man, when you blocking people from being successful, man, there ain't no blessings in that. You want people to succeed, man, especially in boxing. Man, boxing knows, how many fighters attain that level where they even get appreciated. Not many. Not many at all. And so when me and Manny created this podcast, he was like, look, man, we want everybody, amateurs, pros, whatever, whoever, man. We're trying to give everybody a platform to speak, to tell their story, to say what they're doing, what's going on in their how they feel. I had a guy reach out and say, hey, man, is it only undefeated people you want on your show? I thought, you silly, man? When you want to do the show? It's we boxing people, bro. We boxing enthusiasts, man, and tribes. It's very few people we don't support, man. Very, very few. I can count on one hand.
And if we don't support you, it's because you done fucked up.
Yeah, I can count on one hand the people I don't agree with. But Alfonso Lopez is one of those guys, man. Whenever we see each other, well, hell, we talk on the phone all the time too. He's very cordial,
genuine.
And genuine. Yeah, that's the right word, man. As is my man Juan. We talk a lot, man. And as far as you guys go with Dallas, I'm on the squad now, so we're gonna be pushing you, bro, and trying to see you succeed, man. That's how we roll, man. Anybody, anyone, put it this way. Anyone don't like Coach Derrick or Manny and the Soul Boxing Podcast, watch them motherfuckers. Because something's up.
Yeah.
We open to everybody, bro. We try to make sure everybody gets successful.
Yeah, that's one of the things that I really admire about the podcast is that you guys are so very neutral with everybody and you give everybody an opportunity. And that's what I like. There's no nonsense. I like that. And when you're in this industry, you have to give people those opportunities. And we're here in Illinois. We're different parts of the U.S. now branching out to Mexico and so on, and South America. And I'm gonna tell you that our champions will prosper. Not because of who we are, it's because the way they're managed. Like the way Mr. Gaitan is managing his son, he's doing it perfect. He's training him perfect. Then you guys with your podcast and you giving fighters the opportunity to have the floor. I mean, there's only one way, and that's up. So I commend you, especially in these really brutal, challenging times. This is when you think outside the box, and this is why I really respect the fact that you guys do this. And I just wanted to say thank you.
Man, when Derek and we first talked about this podcast, that was our number one reason behind it. We knew there was a void for the local fighters, and that's what we wanted to fill. And fortunately, we've had the opportunity to have some big names on the show, and that's cool and all. I mean, that makes us feel good. But at the end of the day, our goal has always been giving a platform to local fighters where they can come tell their story the way they want to tell their story to their people, with no filters. Yeah, and talking about and that's very true about Derek. He's very supportive of people, and I am too. I tend to be a little more petty though. I'm working on it, but I saw something yesterday. Slim Thug. It was on Instagram or it was on his Facebook, and he came on there talking about people calling him thirsty because he's liking pictures on Instagram, and he said something. He said, "You know what? I'm the realest motherfucker out here because I don't give a fuck what you think. If I like something, I'm gonna like it. If I support somebody, I'm going to support them. I'm not going to worry about what you think or what you say, or you might think I'm, excuse the language, but you might think I'm dick riding because I like little homeboys posts. If he's doing something productive and positive, I'm going to like the shit. I don't care what you say, what anyone else says. And I think that's what you guys were referring to is like people are so insecure and themselves that they don't want to support anybody else, that they don't want to give anyone else and what they might feel like, oh, I'm not going to give them no advice, or I'm not going to give them no insight, or I'm not going to give them an opportunity because it's going to take away from me, right? But when you surround yourself with people who know who they are, who understand their value, who understand their self-worth and have confidence, well, and Coach D, anytime anybody in the gym, he's going to give them he's going to give them insight. He's going to give them knowledge. If he sees they're doing something wrong, he's going to tell them because he understands it's not going to take nothing away from him. He's not going to make him. It's not any threat to him. And so that's why we love what we do, is because we want you guys, local amateurs, coaches, promoters, world-class fighters, up-and-coming fighters. We want to have an opportunity for y'all to share your story with your people the way you want to do it, and it's been awesome. We've been doing it. What season we're on? Season 2 or 3?
4.
4. Shit, you see, I'm having so much fun. I don't even know what the fuck how many seasons we're on. But yeah,
you know what it is though. You know what it is, and I said this one day. I said, that offends certain people, man, when you're willing to help and talk to people. I told people like to slang that word humble around, right? And I don't consider myself humble, but here's the thing. You saying you want me to be humble, right? Or you saying you just want me to shrink up because you feel insecure? Because if you define humble by helping people and doing, I do all that. Man. I try to give people a platform, a voice, all that stuff. But a lot of people get offended, man, if you do that. I told one of my fighters one time, man. He said, Coach, man, you telling this dude how I whooped his ass? I said, here's the thing. I'm telling him, I'm not teaching him. Yeah. I can tell him what we doing, and maybe that's arrogance, but he can't do shit about it. It's like when they offered me this fight, I told his manager, I said, yeah, we got him. And so we get there, oh, he's 4-0, 4 knockouts. It don't matter. It's the science thing. Unless we mess up, right? Unless we catch one, ain't nothing you can do about it. Sure as shit, everybody's seeing it on the national platform. But here's my thing. Don't come around me with that humble talk and you got to be humble. You know, that's insecure people saying that shit. Now ain't nothing wrong with being humble. Don't miss my words. Humble's a good thing. But you gotta watch if they telling you, oh, he's a good guy, he's a humble guy, or they saying this guy offends my sensibilities because he's being frank and honest and helping people. And you know what I'm saying? If I'm trying to get that across, because I get that a lot, man. Like, oh man, that dude is way from over there. He's way across the street somewhere. I'm like, bro, this dude don't even know me, man. If that's what you try to do to help people and hit people up and share stuff and hell, we doing a weekly podcast trying to promote boxing, Houston boxing, Dallas boxing, Texas boxing, United States boxing, you know, but I'm a bad guy, nah, man. Nah, you gotta watch this. And much like my man is saying, I sure as shit don't give a damn if people don't like what I like and appreciate what I appreciate. You know, they just made me like it twice.
Yeah, you can't tell Derek not to do something because he'll fucking go do it twice.
That's all I'm like. You damn me not.
All right, man. Time's about to be wrapping up, and I want to hit two quick points. One, who do you model your boxing after, or who have you watched, or who do you like in your boxing style too?
Well, I can't really say about myself specifically to one person. You know, I like to take in knowledge from everybody that I can. You know, like I told my dad that, you know, I've had the uppercut of Roy Jones, you know, left hook of Mike Tyson, the jab of Ali. You know, it's just, you know, just taking things from everywhere. You know, even the left hook to the bodies like Canelo. You know, we've been told the head movement. We're able to get, you know, just taking little parts that I like from my favorite fighters and just putting it all together and making this Frankenstein fighter, you know, that's well-rounded is what I want to be.
Nice. And give us your pound-for-pound list right now.
Top five.
Top five. Active fighters.
I mean, okay, like we've said it before, we've said it in another podcast. For me, I got number one, not because I'm biased, not because he's my favorite fighter right now, but Canelo's my number one. What he has done. You know, we have people that, you know, like on the other one we're asking about Terrence Crawford. Yes, he is a great pound for pound fighter. However, he doesn't have the same accomplishments as Canelo, where he's faced like 27 world champions now by this point. You know, it's you know, I got Canelo right now as number one. I have Lomachenko at number two, but after, you know, Sunday, you know, I can't do that. You know, so now it's Teofimo's gonna be there. So Fimo took over, you know, great performance by him. And, yeah, who else can I put up there, man? Andre Ward, but he's no longer active, unfortunately. But, I mean, he's, you know, has the best ring IQ right there. But, I mean, right now that's my top three, man. I mean, you know, unfortunately, Ward's not active, but, you know, I got Canelo, you know, Teofimo, and Loma.
Grand Prairie, that's out by Dallas, right?
Yes, sir.
That's where you guys are from. You guys don't ever run into Earl Spence? How's he doing out there?
We've actually we've called Hector, the guy that helps me train Listo. He called Derek to get some sparring with the Charlo brothers, and they said no. We've tried. You know, we wanted to see what they were about. You know, because I think they haven't faced. Honestly, I don't think they've faced anybody yet. You know,
the Charlo twins.
Yeah, you know,
that's a whole nother show.
You know, but I mean, a lot of people love them. I don't think they sell any pay-per-views. You know, I don't think they're sellers. You know, in my list, I also have Virgil Ortiz Jr. You know,
yeah, that's another one.
14-0, 14 knockouts now, or 15-0, 15 knockouts. I don't know, you know. And then now you got that Puerto Rican kid that just fought. You know, he's what? I can't wait to him to see him fight somebody that's gonna, you know, like maybe in a year or so fight somebody like David Benavidez. You know, he's been in the ring with David Benavidez a few times.
That's a bad boy too, right there. That's a bad boy.
You know, so he sparked some Redmond's too, you know, and his dad keeps calling me, you know, and I think it's for a reason, right? You know, get him in camp with them, and so it feels good, you know.
Well, at least
before we get out of here, man, I got Juan on the show. November 28th, man. Robert Redmond Jr., man, junior welterweight title. What you think, man? You like Redmond, huh?
Yeah, I'm excited about that. It's going to be nice. You know, we're definitely going to promote that fight, you know, out here all over so that we can get it. But I think he's you know, his loss came to a guy that won the NABF title for the WBC, you know, and he's been defending. And Redmond's no joke, man. I mean, yeah, he's one tough cookie. I can see him moving up, you know, fast and doing it right. And hopefully when this pandemic thing kind of spills over, I can see more activity. But Redmond is an exciting guy too. Looking forward to seeing him.
Robert, the Houston Hitman Redmond Jr. He's in camp right now. He's in camp for his future. He's got this ABO title coming up. Next fight up here in Houston at the Shrine Arena Theater. I think they're doing 50% capacity. I think they're going to be doing it on pay-per-view on Facebook. So he understands what's at stake. He knows what this fight means, and he's going to go out there, perform, do his job, and move on to the next opportunity. We're gracious for the opportunity to be fighting for the ABO title. He's super excited. It's something that he's been wanting to do, and so now the opportunity has presented itself. So it's on him to capitalize.
No, absolutely, and you know those champions that win our titles, you know, wear that gray belt strap proud, and from our end, we'll do whatever we can to help elevate that progress, as you guys can see from all our previous champions, where they're at today after winning our titles. So
you guys got a stable for sure.
Yeah, absolutely. I'm going to tell you, man, we're proud. Keep moving forward, and let's get it going. Let's make it happen.
Real quick, Juan, where can they find information about the ABO?
They can go to www.aboboxing.org. They can go to our Facebook, our Instagram, and they can either get vacancy inquiries through our website to me or to our vice president, Vince Hudson out in California, or they can go to Francisco Leal, our president in the men's division, or the women's division. They can go to our president and ranked #1 fighter in the world, Laura Ramsey.
Nice. All right.
Listo, where they follow you at, brother?
Follow me at Listo Gaitan on Instagram, Listo Gaitan on Facebook, as well as Listo Gaitan on Twitter, social media, you know, and I just want to say thank you to you guys, you know, for having myself and my brother on our show, on one of your guys' shows. It's had a great time, and it's a great way to start the morning. You know, thank you to you guys.
Appreciate you guys coming on. Any last words, Coach?
I think my dad got something for y'all real quick.
Oh shit!
Uh-oh.
Here we go, man.
There you go.
Nice.
We're gonna be fighting for the ABO title. It's gonna stay here in Grand Prairie. I guarantee you that.
There you go.
Absolutely.
All right, man. We look forward to following y'all, catching up with y'all, and watching y'all get this victory.
All right.
Coach, any last words?
Good luck, man. Y'all get the title, man. Let's take care of business.
That's it.
All right, man. It's another
Great
great
show, guys.
episode.
Thank you.
Thank you.
Bye-bye.
We'll see y'all next week.
You got
Peace.
it. Peace.